A lot of people don't understand why I'm so anti-banking. But it's not that the banking industry is evil per se, and the banking system is evil per se. It's just that the banking system and the industry is evil today as they constructed it. So it doesn't need to be this way. Banking can actually be an industry used to um, elevate the economics of society, to produce growth. But instead, the way the banking industry is structured today, the way the monetary system, the fractional reserve banking system is structured today, it does nothing to promote growth. It actually distracts from growth and just serves to transfer wealth from the wealthy class, the middle class, and the poor to the uber wealthy. So there's not a system that's more immoral, more misanthropic, more hateful than the system we have today. So when people say, I don't understand why you're so anti-banking, it's literally the only people that ask me that are the ones that actually do not understand how it works today. So I'm as befuddled as to why people would ask me that question as if someone were to ask you, why are you so anti-child molestation? Why are you so anti-rape? Why are you so anti-murder? And so these are the same kinds of evil that you would say, why are you asking me, why am I anti-corruption, anti-mafia, anti-murder, anti-rape, anti-child molestation? It's the same kind of thing that everyone should react to, everyone should feel. Why are you asking me why am I anti-banking? Because everyone should understand how evil the system is. Recently, the anniversary of JFK, John F. Kennedy's assassination, just passed because he was assassinated in November 1963. Now, what was really interesting as I was reading this interview with Gerald Celente, who is this trends forecaster who has been spot on in a lot of his forecasts over the past several decades. And he was recalling a time when he met Governor John Connally, who was the governor of Texas that was actually in the limousine with President John F. Kennedy when JFK was assassinated. And John Connally was also shot in the back and a bullet blew through his lung, and only through the quick thinking of his wife did he survive that being shot through in the back and through the lung. And this is what John Connally told Gerald Celente in 1992. He said to Celente, "You don't have a clue, and neither do the American people, because if they did, there would be a revolution." Now that is an extremely telling quote, because think about it. Here is a man that was sitting in the same car as a U.S. president when the U.S. president was basically murdered by other interests that did not want to see his policies come to fruition. Now think about it. What was JFK? JFK was going to end the U.S. Federal Reserve. JFK passed Executive Order 1110 that I can't remember actually the exact number. There could be another one in there. But basically that backed American currency by silver. So made all the fraud that's going on today, that fraud would have been impossible had that executive order stood. And that was immediately reversed by Lyndon B. Johnson when LBJ took over after Kennedy was assassinated. So if you think about what he said, and actually Connally's statement in 1992 came very close to what Henry Ford said in the 1800s, when Henry Ford said, now this is not a direct quote because I'm not checking it, but I'm just paraphrasing it, but Ford basically said, it's a good thing that the American people don't understand the banking system, because if they did, he said, there'd be a revolution by tomorrow morning. So that's exactly what Connolly's saying. If you understood the fraud and corruption of our government, of the banking interests that control the government, then there would be a revolution in America. But no Americans understand that. So that is what I'm urging people that are watching this video to do, is to take the time. I've written tons of articles, tons of blogs on my website, made tons of videos to explain this corruption in the banking system and how it is rotten to its very core. The whole system is corrupt. So the information is out there for everyone to see. Now, I'm pretty sure that the majority of people don't get it. They still don't get how evil the banking system is. And And a quick anecdotal story is just if you go to Google and you type in, for example, there are various banks. If you type in like Goldman Sachs is evil, you get about 2 million results. JP Morgan is evil, you get about 3 million results. You step it up a little, you get Citigroup is evil, you get about 5 million results. HSBC is evil, you get about 26 million results. However, now if you start typing in presidents, if you type in Bush is evil, you get about 65 million results. If you type in Obama is evil, you get about 108 million results on Google for their searches. So that tells me that people still think the presidents are in charge. Now the presidents like Bush, Clinton, Obama certainly are part of the problem because they are the enablers of the evil that bankers spread. But they are not the top dog in this power structure in the world. It is the bankers that are standing at the top of that power pyramid. So, Obama's just a puppet. The bankers are just moving around telling him what to do, and he does it. And just like Bush was a puppet, just like Clinton was a puppet, and just like any other future president will be a puppet. So that search alone tells me that we still have a long ways to go as far as educating people to understand that it is the bankers that need to be stuck in jails, the bankers that need to be put away for a long, long time. It's the bankers that are the most sociopathic people that are spreading misery, poverty, war, crime all across the globe today. Now, people always ask me, what can we do then if you say the banking system is evil? Now, there are lots of things you can do, but it's just a matter of getting everyone educated so that they participate. And so here's one thing I've given, just watch my other videos and go read my blog articles to look at other suggestions, because there are many things we could do as collectively as a group to bring down the evil sociopaths that are running the banking system today. So another idea actually was given to us by JP Morgan. So here's a campaign they ran this past month called Ask JPM. Okay, now look at the reaction to this campaign. I'm just going to go ahead and read some of the tweets that they received. One person wrote, "Dear Ask JPM, do you trade on leaked Fed news? On September 18th, evidence is overwhelming." Okay, let's take a look at some of the other tweets here. "Thanks to hashtag AskJPM, if you Google Jamie Dimon eats babies, the results are now endless. You're welcome. What is the best way to lose my beer belly? Or should I keep it because gluttony is good? Hashtag AskJPM." Here's another. "How's it feel like to short the human race and make serious coin? When are you going to lead the next bear raid on us? Love your work. Hashtag AskJPM." "How many homeless people did you create in 2008? Hashtag AskJPM." "Is it the ability to throw anyone out of their home that drives you? Or just the satisfaction that no, you could do it? Hashtag AskJPM." "If your company donates money to a charity, how do I know those funds were not from an illegal foreclosure? Hashtag AskJPM." "What's it like working with Mexican drug cartels? Do they tip? Hashtag AskJPM." "Do you feel like your all-encompassing shenanigans are overlooked because Goldman Sachs is more hated? Hashtag AskJPM." Now I could read 100 or 1,000 more of those questions because they exist out there, and it's specifically for that reason, because all the questions that came in to JPM were about their criminal activities. And people say, "Oh, they're not criminal because no one went to jail." No, that's not how it goes down. It's because they have spent millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars hiring lobbyists to change the laws to make immoral actions legal, just because their actions are not illegal doesn't, and just because no JPM banker has gone to jail doesn't mean that JPM is not engaging in a cesspool of immorality and illegal behavior. So that is basically the blowback that they received with their Ask JPM conference that they were going to have. So in the end, what happened? They actually ended up canceling their question and answer session with the public because there was such negative blowback. They didn't want to stand there and face the music and face the questions about their immorality and about their criminality. So the whole point I want to make is that obviously JP Morgan was shamed and humiliated into canceling their question and answer session with the public because they couldn't face the music about all the criminality. So public humiliation can work to change behavior. Obviously, I don't feel like JP Morgan or any banking executive at JP Morgan is going to change their immoral sociopathic behavior because of the tsunami of negative comments they received on Twitter. But this is what I'm saying. Before I continue, I want to show you this one video. So take a moment to watch these very short clips right now.
Rockefeller, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing to the world. Rockefeller, your new world order will never come in. You're running out of time. Scumbag, you've rushed it. You screwed up. You're not going to stop the Irish, Rockefeller, you scumbag. We are the Irish. We know what you're up to. We know what you're up to, Rockefeller. It's all going to come tumbling down. Unbelievable. Hope you're happy working for that dirtbag. Do you know what that guy who you're protecting does? How's it feel, lad, working for a mass murderer? That guy started the eugenics movement, funded the Nazis, monopolises every business. What sort of world are you building for your kids? If you had any moral standing, you'd go in and arrest David Rockefeller for crimes against humanity.
Chile right now. Leave Chile. You are not. You're killing a lot of people. You're killing a lot of people. Leave here. Leave Chile right now. Leave Chile. Leave Chile. We don't want your world government. Leave Chile right now. Leave Chile, okay? Leave Chile. Your family is the most disgusting in the world, you know? Leave here. Leave. You also, you're a traitor to Chile. Mr. Agustin Edwards, you're a traitor to Chile, okay? You're a traitor to Chile. What you're doing right now, okay? 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 You know everything. You know everything. You're participating with him. You're participating with him in this. Your world government will fail, okay? It will fail! Your world government will fail! Will fail! Will fail! You know it! Leave Chile right now! We don't want you here! We don't want your disgusting thing here! Leave Chile now!
These men are predators on the American taxpayer money. These guys are not the job creators, they're the job destroyers. We need to bring the money back to the people. We need to start getting money to help people stay in their homes. This man is a crook. This man is a criminal, and people need to shout out about this man and 18 other cronies that have been stealing near zero interest loans from the people.
You promised me foreclosure for 3 years, and you sold my house for 1 week. Don't face the people that you foreclosed from.
Stop! Foreclosures now!
Stop! Foreclosures now! You can give the workers now $2 million, and you can't give her a modification, Diamond. There's a day coming.
So basically, nobody in life wants to go through life yelled at that they're a criminal, they're a crook, they're immoral, they have no integrity, they hate humanity everywhere they go. So if we publicly shame all these banking executives everywhere they go, we should all take the time to familiarize ourselves with what they look like. So I'm going to put, some of the pictures up right now, so you know what Lloyd Blankfein, Stuart Gulliver at HSBC, Brian Moynihan at Bank of America, Stephen Hester, Royal Bank of Scotland. Who else am I missing? Of course, Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan. Actually, I don't know who the current, it's eluding me, the current CEO of Citigroup is at the current time. I know it used to be Vikram Pandit, but I think it's changed since then because I know he stepped down. But I'll find out and put it on. So anytime you see these guys out anywhere, walking down the street, at the supermarket shopping, if they even shop and buy their own groceries, at restaurants, out with their families, you should do what these people did to the Rockefellers in their previous video, because public shaming and humiliation does work. If we look at history, because none of these people should have any peace until they change their behavior, because they're killing humanity, they're killing people's lives. So if you look at history, if you look at a lot of the Native American Indian tribes, you know, since a lot of them moved to where the land was fertile, or where, you know, if they were hunting buffalo, they had to follow the migration paths of the buffalo to eat, and so they would take down their teepees and move. You look, and they didn't have jails, so people said, how did that work? But of course, there were bad people within Native American tribes. So what they did is they would publicly shame, humiliate, and ostracize these people. And either if the crime was so bad as murder, then they would ostracize them permanently, which was exactly the same as a death sentence. Because if you're a person, you don't have the protection of your tribe, then you're going to be murdered by another tribe, or you're just going to starve to death because you don't have the resources of your tribe to help you survive, because you don't have shelter, you don't have food. So, you know, that public humiliation, that ostracization made jails unnecessary. So, you know, this type of public humiliation and shaming has been shown to work in other cultures that didn't even need jails to get people to act properly. And this is something we could do, we should do, everyone should do to every criminal banker out there. They should publicly shame them. Every time they should yell at them in public. It doesn't even matter if their kids are around, because they'd be publicly shamed in front of their children, then that would make them want to become a responsible, contributing person to society. So the situation that American Indians used to basically rein in the rogue members of their society is very analogous to the situation in Western countries today, because bankers in Western countries, because they have misappropriated the justice system, they have put the people in power that oversee their actions, they put people in power as the regulators that oversee their actions, the judges, the lawmakers, the policymakers. They know they have a get out of jail free card. So in other words, there are no jails for Western bankers either. So it's up to society to rein them in. And we can look to Native American Indians, how they did it with members of their society without jails, because basically there are no jails for Western bankers. So we can look to Native American tribes that had no jails as a model for what we can do to bring these Western bankers back into productive behavior within society. So that is the message today, that there are ways we can do this, and there are ways that we can bring bad people back in line. There are ways we can change an evil system and make it a good system again. Because remember, the 1609 Municipal Bank of Amsterdam is a shining example of how positive banking can work, but we have no bank today that works like the 1609 Municipal Bank of Amsterdam. So, you know, as far as the whole global system, because the whole global system should operate as that one bank did, and that one bank flourished under that system, and so did the whole city of Amsterdam. There was solid economic growth, there was very little inflation under an honest system, and that's what we should have. So thanks again for watching today. I hope you learned something. Please pass this video on to everyone you know, even if you know, because I'm saying that a lot of people are still not awake. But if you are one of those awake people watching this, pass this on to your friends that are not awake, because I'll put resources below. Look in the video description below if you're watching this on YouTube, for people to learn more and understand what banking for what it really is today, because that's the message we really need to get out there and spread. Okay, thanks a lot and take care. Until next time, so long.